Hello, my amazing first grade artists. Today we are going to be beginning an art project based on how we look. Yes, that's right, boys and girls. We are going to be creating a self-portrait. A self-portrait is a picture that the artist creates of themselves, how they look. The way that we're going to do this today is by drawing our face without our mouth. Then next class, when we come back, we are going to glue on our bubblegum and decorate the background and also begin our coloring. Today we won't get to our coloring because the first thing we're going to do is practice. So at your table, you are going to have a sheet of 7 steps on how to draw a self-portrait. The first thing that you're going to do is trace a circle, a chin, and a middle line. Then step 2 is eyes, then we go on to mouth, nose, ears, eyebrows, and lastly hair. It's for your benefit that you follow these steps in order, not skipping over any one of the numbers. So the first thing you'll do is you're going to have a practice sheet to go through and complete 2 different portraits. We're going to practice twice. Fill out your name, class, and number. Then, in box A, I want you to use the steps 1 to 7 to draw a general face. Then, in box B, try to make another face that looks a bit like you. Don't forget things like glasses, hair accessories, and maybe a smile. So, boys and girls, at your table, you're going to have a small cup. I want you to put the big circle of the cup or the open lid down for the circle of the head for step 1. So we're going to trace our circle. Next, I want you to draw a line directly in the middle of your circle. And we need to create a chin line. I start from this middle line and draw a curved V for my chin. Today, boys and girls, draw light until you know it's right. That is a very helpful tip today because we're going to end up actually erasing quite a few of these lines. Wherever there is a ... on the instructions, that means that those lines are going to eventually get erased to be covered up by one of our other features. So now I'm on step 2 and I want to go ahead and follow steps A through D to create our eyes. So step A says to draw 2 rainbows. And step B is to fill in the bottom to create that football shape. Maybe make this one a little bit wider. Once I've done this, I like to go ahead and erase the line in the middle of my eye to go on to step D, which is to draw the colored part of my eye. This is called the iris. It's the brown or blue or green part of our eye. Lastly, for step D, we need to create the pupil, which is the dark black hole on the inside of our eye. And maybe a line for the eyelid. Step 3, you'll notice actually that the mouth is drawn on this bottom line of our circle. So I'm actually going to use this circle as the smile in the gap between my mouth. Another helpful thing I do is I draw that center U here, the dip on my upper lip, and then meet those lines down at the side. And a small U for the bottom lip. Once I've done this, because this is a ... line, I'm going to take and erase the bottom of my circle. I'm going to be careful to erase the lines that are ... because otherwise I might get confused and outline them later. Okay? Next is our nose. The reason I draw my mouth and then my nose is because my nose needs to fit in the whole space between my eyes and my mouth. I don't want to draw my nose too big or too long. The easiest way to draw a nose is just a J with a nostril on the side. Next, for 5 and 6, we have our ears and our eyebrows. Your ears actually are the same length from your eyes down to the bottom of your nose. and your eyebrows. Don't put them too high or you're gonna look really shocked. All right, boys and girls, now we are down onto step 7. Step 7 is a tricky one for some boys and girls because we are used to drawing hair with lines for each individual strand of hair. But today I want you to experiment with drawing hair as a shape, one big piece that's on the top of your head. Notice how the hair actually comes down onto your forehead. If you feel your hair, boys, your hair, some of it may actually come down and almost touch your eyebrows. So our hair is going to come down onto our forehead below the circle line. This is our circle line. And it's also going to come above the circle line because our hair is not flat and smushed down on our head. Once I've done that, our circle is a dot, dot, dot line, so please erase this line. We don't want it to look like you've got a headband. All right, boys and girls. So the last thing I really want you to do is draw a neck and shoulders that come all the way off to the edge of the paper. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to fill out both box A and box B on your practice. But then once you are done with practicing, you can get your material box. Now that we are all done with our practice, in your material box, you're going to find 2 materials. First is your final draft copy paper, which has your name, class number stamp on the back, and permanent markers. So fill out your name, class number, and then turn your paper over. You'll notice that I have already drawn your chin and neck for you. Now your job is I'd like for you to draw the line across as if you were going to draw your eyes and begin drawing the same steps following step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we need to draw our eyes with the 2 rainbows down below to complete our footballs, the colored part of our eye, and the dark part of our eye. And the lines. Next, because you don't need to draw your mouth, we're just going to go ahead and draw our nose. Give yourself a little curved nose. Now move on to your eyebrows, your ears, and last thing is your hair. Remember, boys and girls, we want our hair to come down onto our forehead, and you know what? Some of our hair even touches our eyebrows, and maybe down below as well.